Hey guys, I'm Lorraine and welcome to Saucered and Blown. We're just getting started out and this will be our first couple of videos, so we hope that you find them enjoyable and informative. This year I turned 28, as did most of my close friends, and even for those of my friends who didn't turn 28 this year, most of us are still in our late 20s, which means 30 is looming in the near distance, and the fire is really under our ass. Like, all right, are you ready? You know, are you really ready for life? And facing that reality has really just had me thinking, you know, reflecting on how prepared have I been, or how prepared have I been for life? Yeah, you know, and I think growing up there's so much emphasis placed on, you know, going to college, getting a degree, getting a good career set for yourself, and, you know, you get married, you do this. There's so many things, like, okay, this is how life works. But then there's the little things that keep life working that I think kind of, you know, go, like, unmentioned. You know, it's kind of like, maybe it's supposed to be common sense, but if you were never taught, then you just never know, you know? Like, for instance, how to choose a cantaloupe. You know? No one ever said, hey, let me teach you how to choose it. Let me teach my daughter, my granddaughter how to choose a cantaloupe. You know, it's like, hey, let me make sure she knows how to use a tampon or maybe even a condom. But, you know, how many people say, like, I need to teach my daughter or my son how to pick a cantaloupe. So then by trial and error or by asking a friend, you figure it out. What else? Okay, who out there thought that a little elf restocked the toilet paper in your bathroom? I did. And then you realize once you move on your own that no, if you run out, you run out. There's no elf, there's no mother, there's no aunt, there's no anyone to restock but you. You know, how to ride a bike. That may be a little different, never mind. Or how to choose a light bulb. You know, very first apartment, I was 23 years old, never bought a light bulb, never had a reason to buy a light bulb. Again, like, I always lived at home or with someone who just bought everything. So I was like, okay, let me buy a light bulb for this lamp for my new apartment. I don't know that there's a maximum, so I just picked a maximum wattage, so I just picked the first light bulb I find in the store. Luckily, the lady at the register is so kind enough to say, honey, what are you doing with 200 watts? Are you baking a cake? What's going on here? And it's like, I don't know. I just want to read a book. I need my lamp to work. And she's like, well, you might not want to set your apartment on fire because then you won't be reading anything. So, lesson learned, and luckily not the hard way. First of all, check your lamp for the maximum wattage. It's usually safe to stay around 40 watts. You don't really need too much more than that. Lesson learned. Or on a more serious tip, the art of self-control. You know, I don't think there was ever a guidance counselor or you know, a family member who ever chose to sit down and discuss self-control, you know, and how important it is to your life. And not only with your behaviors or actions, but I feel more importantly with your emotions and your mind, which will then lead to your behaviors and actions. You know, you can't control external forces, you can't control other people and their feelings, and you can't control situations in general. But when you really, really learn how to control your mind and your emotions, which then will determine your reactions to things or control them, you know, your reactions to certain situations, it makes those situations go so much smoother, you know. And that's a lesson that I had to learn semi the hard way, you know, this year. So, hey. So, again, from the big things like how to balance a checkbook, you know, or what college to pick, what career to pick, you know, all types of big things, you know, those, when you get mastery of those, or gain mastery of those big things, I think that's what keeps your life afloat and keeps you afloat, you know. But I think it's the smaller things that sometimes go unnoticed, you know, and sometimes you have to learn by trial and error. It's those smaller things that help that floating float a little smoother. I'm glad that I've learned all these things. I'm glad that there's a lot I had to learn through trial and error, and I know for sure that when it's my time to have a little girl or little boy or whoever, you know, that one day child, I will definitely sit them down and teach them how to cut a watermelon. That's it for now. Love and light and peace.